Shalom to the nation of Israel, starting off with the hopeful elect. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar coming at you with another quick lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, as always, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, and also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on a physical appearance or look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. And once again, Shalom. So basically, just, in this lesson, I'm going to get into a quick, news and prophecy update, okay, touching off this website. Okay, as you can see, the name of the website, endtimeheadlines.org. Okay, they're going to, various topics, current news, okay, what's going on in the world, okay, which we know, okay, a lot is going on when it comes to pertaining biblical prophecy, okay, as at this time the Lord set up the prophets, okay, starting with the men of great millstone, okay, and the true brother on down, and those out there that's truly teaching and pushing his word and giving warning of the times ahead, man, okay, when it comes to current events and interpret them or extrapolating, okay, when it comes to the scriptures, man, to prove that we're in the time of who the world called Christ, okay, which his name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew, okay, meaning he is the deliverer, okay, or he is the savior, okay, of the time of who the world calls God, okay, the heavenly Father, his heavenly Father, which his name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, meaning he is or he exists, okay, about to send his son back, okay, by the way of at the peak, okay, eventually the peak of the Third World War, okay, we're about to enter into those times, okay, which going to lead to Yahweh Shai's second coming by the way of the chariots, the invasions of the chariots, what the world called UFOs, okay, the vehicles of the angels, okay, the chariots, okay, and during that time, okay, that's going to lead to this place, America, ultimately being destroyed by the way of thermonuclear missiles, okay, the way of thermonuclear missiles at the peak of the Third World War, okay, courtesy to Russia, China, Iran, certain members of NATO and the EU turn on this place, America, okay, and those that got nuclear capability, that Lord going to use, okay, to destroy this place, America, okay, and only ones that's going to be delivered is the elect of the nation of Israel, okay, from out of that destruction, which we're considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that are destined to be saved, okay, of Negro, Latino, and Native American descent, okay, and so we coming in these times, man, okay, but prior to that, before this place totally to be destroyed, this place about to witness a time of catastrophe like no other, okay, as we're approaching Jacob's trouble, okay, Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7, okay, and now we're witnessing the downfall of this place, America, okay, financially, politically, okay, when it comes to also the coming of civil unrest, uproars of the people, the coming of civil war, race wars, okay, martial law, okay, detention centers, okay, the coming of famine, pestilence, all that's in the scriptures, man, okay, and mainly the RFID microchip, which is known as the mark of the beast, in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, that's going to replace the physical dollar. Okay, as these elites, okay, when it comes to these central bankers, okay, that's in power of Esau Edom. Okay, when it comes to the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, Gettys, Oppenheimers, okay, the powers that be, and that's ruling, trying to forge the NWO, okay, and they're gonna, trying to put a cap on it, okay, when it comes to CHIPP ING, okay, the people, okay, and I'm trying to, be careful, okay, when it comes to, the algorithm, okay, but that's their whole agenda, okay, and now we're starting to see certain stage events, okay, I say, okay, that's starting to, point towards them trying to bring the NWO, okay, when it comes to order out of chaos, man, okay, so I'm gonna, as the latest, that what's going on here in America and throughout the world, what's ramping up, okay, when it comes to biblical prophecy, touching on these articles, man, and I'm gonna, of course, read the headlines, extrapolate, okay, and get the scriptures to back it up, and through the Spirit, and that'll be the lesson. And I pray that the lesson is edifying. Okay, so you see the first one. It says Trump warns Malulas, okay, if I'm saying it right, Iran, that time is running out. Masses, um, masses are marred on the move. Okay, and we already know, according to script on the scriptures, okay, uh, it's going to be a great war. Okay, when it comes to starting with America and Iran. Okay, especially when it comes to Israel and Iran. Okay, because we know that America at this time is backing up Israel. Okay, which the people that's over there are not the original inheritors. Okay, when it comes to the small hats. Okay, that's going to lead America into this Third World War, especially when it comes to the war tensions between Israel and Iran. Okay, so we're seeing now they're trying to make more and more moves, okay, to bring war against Iran. Okay, but we know Iran is backed up by Russia, China, okay, India, okay, North Korea, okay, certain Arab states, okay, preparing the time of the Third World War. Okay, but due to the boasting of America and Israel, okay, they gonna think, eventually through their pride, they're gonna be able to come against Iran and the rest of the nations in the time of war. Okay, the time of the Third World War, thinking that they're gonna succeed, man. Okay, and we seeing lately how Trump is moving on these countries. Okay, when it comes to the latest Venezuela. Okay, with Greenland. Okay, and other countries. Okay, how Trump is boasting, putting America first. Okay, putting tabs on other nations. Okay, when it comes to the economy. Okay, when it comes to the trades. And all. But that's all gonna lead to um, the coming of the Third World War. Let's get this. Trump administration on the alert as Delhi V with no C. Okay, you can read between the lines. Sparks C era teams. Okay, and we already know what happened in 2020. Okay, when it comes to lockdowns. Okay, the pushing of the JAB. Okay, the pushing of uh, um strict legislations. Okay, and so now you hear more talks of another possible outbreak. Okay, they're gonna bring the same scenario. Okay, to lead to more strict legislations. Okay, when it comes to you see the Q word at the end. Okay, not trying to like I say, be careful, but here to the time, man, they're gonna come against the word anyway. Censorship. Okay, when you speak on, certain things that's happening. Okay, you mention certain buzzwords. Okay, they're trying to clip your videos and everything. Okay, but we coming in the time of the famine of the word, man. Okay, so like I said, I try to be careful with certain words, but head to the point, man. I just want to read the whole thing, man. Okay, so you see that. Okay, so we getting to that point of more of pestilence. Okay, which are the Lord bringing plagues, man. Okay, one of his many plagues. Okay, diseases, pestilence. Okay, like I said, I'm trying to be careful. You see this? India and the EU urge on the mother of all trade deals. Okay, and now you're starting to see since Trump, okay, here in America putting tabs on these other countries such as the EU, okay, their own allies, okay, when it comes to financial trades, okay, you're starting to see the EU more and more leading towards leading America, okay, out of trades and doing business with other countries, man. Okay, um, like I said, because America with Trump putting these tabs on or sanctions on the EU countries, man, when it comes to their own allies, man. Okay, let's see. Pentagon warns future wars, okay, may strike on U.S. soil as direct military threats to grow, and we're seeing that now. Okay, here in America, okay, the coming of civil unrest, okay, due to the whole ICE situation, okay, military being deployed, okay, when it comes to Trump, okay, deploying the ICE, okay, we starting to see what's happening now lately, okay, with a lot of these protests, okay, against the ICE, okay, even got certain Democratic states talking about deploying National Guards, okay, troops against the ICE, okay, so that's more coming a civil war, okay, when it comes to this place America, within a government, okay, and the citizens being involved, man, okay, eventually getting caught up in it, okay. Hey, let's read this. Anti-Trump, no kings protest organizer target Minneapolis St. Paul for next flagship, okay, demonstration. Okay, so we hear more and more about these protests, okay, especially the No King protests, okay, coming against Trump, trying to, what the word is impeach Trump, get him out of office, okay, so that leading to more and more uproars of the people, man, protesting, okay, especially what happened in Minneapolis a couple of weeks ago, okay, with the whole situation, okay, of the young woman, okay, that appeared to be an Edomite that got shot, okay, by the ICE, okay, soldier, okay, which we know a lot of things can be staged to lead to more civil unrest, okay, to lead to more protests and to lead to more the coming of martial law, strict legislations, okay, the coming of on civil war. Um, Says man charges Ahina Omar in Minneapolis town hall and sprays her with unknown substance. Okay, and so you see, okay, more and more civil unrest, all centered around the situation with Minneapolis. That lately, the latest, you had a man, okay, that was unalived by ICE, okay, and now that's more of a big uproar, and they both appear, okay, the man, okay, that recently got unalived, okay, and the woman, like I made mention, okay, they both appear, okay, to be so-called whites. So now you got these whites, okay, or these American Edomites on the uproar, okay, to come against more and more the government, okay, when it comes to Trump, and his his regime, but Trump and his administration, okay, which we know these elites, okay, that Trump do the bidding of these elites, okay, when it comes to the NWO, okay, even both sides really, okay, the Republicans and the Democrats, okay, but now you're seeing the stage being set, even if it falsely or real life events, okay, which all things lead to real life situations, okay, even these things are orchestrated when it comes to Esau Edom, okay, through this government, okay, when it comes to these elites, okay, if they, um, double F's, okay, like I said, I'm trying to be careful, okay, and when it comes to, the problem, reaction, and solution, when it comes to the average American person, man, okay, especially these American Edomites, man, okay, that's um, uh, um, been in the spirit, okay, our Lord put the spirit on them, the uprise now, okay, to come against Trump and they and the administration, okay. um, you ain't gonna read that madness. Get some some important articles, okay, which everything is important, but things that really look forward to, man, not that Christianity madness, because we already know Christianity a joke, okay, when it comes to these churches. But let's get this one. Woman in West Virginia arrested for recruiting people on social media to assassinate Trump. Okay, hey, so more, hey, the attacking of the famine of the word. Okay, people getting on social media, venting. Okay, talking about how they need to take over the, they when it comes to their rights and stop Trump and his administration. The ICE situation. Okay, hey, so this is even gonna lead to, like I say, more of the coming of famine of the word, or eventually, the famine of the word, but censorship. Okay, regulating on the internet. Okay, now everything point towards domestic terrorism. Okay, even when it comes to social media. Okay, so this is another reason why they can use to bring martial law, strict legislations. Okay, more surveillance. Okay, let's get this. It says UPS set to slash 30,000 jobs in 2026. Okay, so more of financial woes, man. People losing their jobs, man. Okay, people losing, leading to people losing certain benefits, aids being cut. Okay, and we also in the time of inflation, prices going up. Okay, at the same time, job losses. Okay, unemployment. Then they saying ain't gonna be no funds for unemployment. Okay, so we have more of a double whammy. Okay, or leading to more uproars of the people, man. Civil unrest. Okay, more lawlessness. Okay, more crimes. Okay, um, let's get this. Nepal V outbreak trigger airport screening in India. Okay, and this is even gonna lead to more. And once again, pestilence. Okay, more of more of surveillance, man. Okay, especially when it comes to the airports. Okay, and the traveling system. Okay, that's why you hear now about more of the when it comes to the airports. Okay, the real ID. Okay, when it comes to traveling. Okay, more surveillance, which all that's going to lead to the RFID micro. Okay, that they want to implement to keep track on people. Okay, it talks of Palantir, okay, or Planeteer, okay, it's to avoid, okay, a situation as this in Nepal, okay. Let's see, Iran threatens to sink the USS Abraham Lincoln as the Middle East edges closer to a con, counter, no, not, cataclysms, malignant showdown, okay, and more deaths on war, okay, wars and rumors of wars, okay, as it says in the scriptures, okay. Let's get this. Doomsday clock says apocalypse is closer than ever, okay. So every time the clock is ticking on this place of America, okay, and the downfall of Esau, Edom, and these heathens, and as we're approaching Yahweh second coming, okay, and it ain't gonna go back, man. Okay, and this place time is running out, man. Okay. Reports of explosion at Iran nuclear facility. Okay, and we already know how Iran is such a threat now, having nuclear power. Okay, especially being aided by Russia and China. Okay. Let me see. See that when Trump holds 2-hour meeting with Noheem Abe backslash Minneapolis shooting. Okay, so you can see the story being built up when it comes to the whole Minneapolis situation. Okay, the whole ICE situation. Okay, lab-grown life takes a major step forward as scientists use AI to create a V never seen before. And like I say, okay, a lot of these, also a lot of these pestilence, okay, Esau Edom, okay, uses when it comes to um, biological warfare. Okay, now they got the AI, okay, the artificial intelligence, okay, the technology to do it, which they always known to do. Okay, when it comes to um, um, their technology, okay, when it comes to their scientists, okay, such as GMO foods, okay, like I say, biological warfare when it comes to chemtrails, okay, and I'll keep it like that, okay, but now they're looking for got AI to take over everything, okay, AI robots, okay, now you hear everything smart, this, smartphones, smart TVs, smart cars, smart cities, okay, and all that's going to center around ultimately the coming of the RFID micro, okay, they didn't want to implement. Let me see. Then they go talk about Minneapolis again. Okay. Antifa member calls for armed men to stop immigration agents. He calls mass. You see that word? Okay. Like I said, a lot of these things are staged, but you actually really got people going on social media, okay, trying to uproar the people, okay, trying to be a offense against the government, okay. And so, man, we coming into time, man. Okay, Trump has now deployed border forces to Minnesota after uh, agitators, uh, 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 agitators, um, allegedly made federal agent. Okay, so now the ICE people are the threat now. I mean, being threatened now. Okay, yeah, so they're going down, man. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so we coming to the times, man. And look at this one. Judge blocks Trump amend from destroying evidence and fatal, you know, shooting. Okay, yeah, cause Trump saying that those ICE soldiers had every right. Okay, there wasn't anything wrong, and a lot of okay those certain individuals are being acquitted. Okay, not being charged. Okay, They're going to, Nepal again. So basically all hell breaking loose, man. Trump is now threatening Canada with 100% tariffs over possibly deal with China. Okay, because now Trump threatening Canada, like I say, on Greenland, okay, Greenland, okay, to take over, okay, and if they don't, submit, he gonna put more tariffs on them to weaken their economy, okay, not doing trades with them, okay, so those countries are looking elsewhere, okay, especially to China, okay, because China known to be one of the mass trading partners, okay, our economy, okay, here in the world, okay. Trump's want NATO to help with U.S. border, suggesting the U.S. should invoke Article 5. Okay? And already got NATO troops over here, man, and foreign troops over here. Okay, just waiting for that Pacific time. Okay, not only gonna be the ICE troops, okay, but you're gonna have the foreign troops over here. Okay, you already got them over here. They're just waiting for that Pacific time. Okay, when it comes to Trump bringing in that insurrection act. Okay, Amazon planning thousands of job cuts next week after Xing 14,000 due to AI, and they go AI again. Okay, AI, also talking about the technology taking over jobs. Okay, certain jobs. This madness right here. Yeah, we already know what America all about, pushing this madness. Okay, and you read that for yourself. Historian Yovari Harari warns AI will soon take over religion, law, and jobs. See, there you go, AI again. Okay, when it comes to Esau Edom. Okay, trying to rule the world, man, through his technology. Okay, and at the same time, trying to bring a culling to the people, and I'll keep it like that, man. You see that madness? Let me see. Hey, so we're to the point, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some scriptures, okay? And in the lesson, cause like I said, I ain't want to make this video too long. Okay, just going through some headlines and letting and going through some headlines, the proving the times that we. I'm gonna start off with 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time digitally in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest would begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, so we seeing that. Okay, us that's in the faith. Okay, that's been called and hopefully we chosen, measuring the times. Okay, knowing that we that close to all hell breaking loose. Okay, when it comes to the Lord prophecies leading to judgment and eventually leading to who the world called Christ once again, Yahweh Shai's second coming. Okay, those that starting to pay attention to. Okay, those that newly coming in the faith and coming across the Hebrew Israelites videos, okay, and being acquiring. And those that coming against the Hebrew Israelites, okay, that's not measuring the times, okay, because the signs are there, okay, yeah, as the Lord is visiting the earth which he has made, okay, and Yahweh Shai told us what to watch for. Okay, matter of fact, let's get on Yahweh Shai. It's the spirit of prophecy. Matter of fact, let's get Revelation, which the word prophecy mean to say before. And right before the Lord bring judgment, the Lord always set up his prophets to pre-announce it, okay? Or give that pre-warning, that forewarning. With Revelation 19, and I start off at 9. And it says, and he said unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage, the supper of the Lamb. And the ones that called are you Israelites. Okay, you Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and those that descended out of that bloodline by the seed of your father. Okay, because you're going to have Israelites scattered amongst the heathen nations, and they may take on the physical appearance of other nations. Okay, but their bloodline go back to Negro, Latino, Native American descent by the seed of their father. They will be considered Israelites. And at this time, the only ones eventually that's going to be joined, okay, when it comes to that word marriage, okay, to Yahweh Shai, which represent the Lamb, is the elect, okay, the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved, okay. And it says, and he said unto me, these are true sayings of Yahweh, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And this is John, the Revelator, okay, the angel giving him the message or the revelations or the revelation, okay, of the prophecies of end time, okay, that John saw and written down, what we have today. And he says, see thou doest not, I am thy fellow servant and thy brother that had the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, so Yahweh Shai, okay, it's the spirit of prophecy, man. Okay, which Yahweh Shai always spoke. Okay, as I'm gonna get Matthew the 24th chapter. Okay, when it comes to end time prophecies, what to look for of his second coming. Okay, we seeing these things played out now, man. And this is Matthew the 24th chapter, verse. I'll get straight to the point. Verse 6, and it says, "Ye shall," and this is red letter, by the way. Okay, going to Yahweh Shai spoke these words, and it says, "And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars." Are we seeing that? Okay, hearing that? Okay, when it comes to the news, okay, articles, okay, alternative news, okay, and it says, "And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Yeah, because Yahweh Shah was speaking in prophecies, okay, when it comes to foretelling, okay, you know, when he spoke to the disciples at that time, okay, giving them the prophecies of his second coming, okay, in the end times, okay, which we are in the times now. And it says, "For nation shall rise against nations," okay, your civil wars, your race wars, your class wars, gender wars, okay, and kingdom against kingdom, and your third world war, okay, your trade wars, your political wars, okay, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, so we're seeing all that, man. Okay, and all these are the beginning of sorrow. So we're seeing that, man. Okay, these things that are taking place here on the earth, man. Okay, and you can read it. Okay, what the Lord Yahweh Shai spoke, to look for it. Okay, you can read them daily. Okay, what's going on. Okay, but we know majority of our people when it comes to the 2/3. Okay, because 2/3 going to be judged. When it comes to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, they're not taking heed. Okay, even though they starting to see things happening, starting to feel, what's going on, or being affected, or by the, the inflation, or the coming poverty, okay, food shortages, okay. But our people, they in the mind frame of being comfortable, partying, okay. And that's why 2/3 of our people gonna get a rude awakening, okay, trusting in this place, celebrating, okay, these pagan holidays, okay, chasing the bag, okay, trying to be successful. In the meantime, all hell breaking loose, okay. Then you got majority of our people coming against the prophets, man, okay. There's a majority of our people trusting in these false gods, idol worship, the different sets of religions that misleading them, okay, listening to these false prophets, okay. But now we coming in the beginning of sorrows, man, okay. Let me see. And it's all about prophecy, man. And I'll get that part, get ready to close. Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 1. And it says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. So that's the time we're coming into, man. Prophecies, man. Okay? And they're being fulfilled more and more every day. Till the Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach come back and return and establish the kingdom, man. And bring down Esau, Edom, and these heathens. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end the lesson here. And I pray that the lesson will edify. Until next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the whole elect. Shalom.